The Miracle Maker was a 1999 historical animated movie that retold the life of Christ from his birth to his death and also his resurrection. Being adapted from the Book of Luke, it was historically accurate from beginning to end. It was recreated using claymation, and in today's video we shall look at Jesus himself, his apostles, and all others who featured in the film. We shall then get to know the people behind the perfect voices and how old they are in 2024, and what they actually do after all those years. We start with Jesus, who was first a baby born in Bethlehem to Mary and Joseph, and grew up to be a teacher of scriptures to the Jews and Nazarites alike. He was both loved and hated by others, and was in constant conflict with other religious teachers. He was the Son of Man and the incarnation of God the Son, and the awaited Messiah. The reason he was so hated was because other religious leaders thought that he was pretending to be the long-awaited Messiah, and always accused him of blasphemy. He was later crucified and died, was buried, and rose on the third day. He was and still is God who we eagerly await for his second descendment. God who was voiced by Ralph Fiennes, an English actor and director who has been an actor since the 70s and has done both film and television acting ever since he started. Judas Iscariot was one of Jesus' disciples, and is still well remembered for betraying Jesus in the Garden of Gethsemane. He secretly worked with the Sanhedrin in capturing Jesus in exchange for 30 silver coins. He kissed Jesus on the cheek and called him Master as a way of identifying him to the soldiers. And when Jesus was being tortured, Judas went in a state of guilt, which later made him to take his own life by hanging. A confused disciple who was voiced by David Thewlis, an English actor and filmmaker who has appeared in a wide variety of genres in both film and television, and has been married since 2016 to his wife Hermine Poitou. Simon Peter was another disciple of Christ, who was one of the most loyal followers of Christ. He rolled as the big brother to Jesus, and was ready to defend him at all cost, as was seen in Gethsemane when he chopped the ear of one of the soldiers who came to arrest Jesus. He was also a fisherman by profession, and was probably in his late 20s or early 30s. This saint was voiced by Ken Stott, who is a Scottish stage and television actor that won the Laurence Olivier Award for his role in The Broken Glass of 1995. Barabbas was a thief that was seen during the prosecution of Christ. The people were asked whether to release him or Jesus, and they chose him. He was a murderer and a thief, yet he was pardoned and released by the Roman governor called Pontius Pilate through the will of the people. He was voiced by Tim Clernerney, who is a British actor that is well known for playing Captain Darling in the 1980 sitcom called Blackadder. Andrew was a disciple of Christ and also the brother to Simon Peter. He was born in the village of Bethsaida and was also a professional fisherman. He was actually older than Simon Peter, and it was the great Ewan Stewart that voiced him, and is a Scottish film and stage actor who was born in 1957 and is now blessed with 2 children. Mary Magdalene was not a direct disciple, but was a loyal follower of Christ who traveled with the 12 apostles everywhere, and was also a witness to Jesus' persecution, crucifixion, and his resurrection. She initially came from the town of Magdala, which was a fishing town on the western shore of the Sea of Galilee. She was voiced by the beautiful Miranda Richardson, who is an English actress that began her film and theatrical career in 1979. We often hear of Jairus' daughter, but let us discuss about Jairus himself, who was a synagogue ruler who was seen asking Jesus to go to his house and heal his 12-year-old daughter. And while Jesus was on his way to the sick girl, he found another sick woman who was sick for 12 years. So Jesus healed her. And by the time he reached to Jairus' house, he found the little girl dead and the funeral was beginning. He later miraculously raised her from the dead, and Jairus was happy. He was voiced by William Hurt, who was an American screenwriter, actor, and producer, who sadly passed away on 13th of March 2022 at the age of 71 from the unforgiving claws of prostate cancer. John the Baptist was the cousin of Jesus and the son of Elizabeth, whose main role in the movie and in history was to prepare the way for the coming Messiah. He was born in Palestine and was a Jewish prophet who mostly preached about God's final judgment, and was seen baptizing those who repented in preparation of God's wrath. Later, we saw him baptizing Jesus and was finally killed. He was about 28 years to 30 years old when he died. Voiced by Richard Grant, who is a Swaziland actor and presenter, and his next movie shall be Wildwood. Pontius Pilate was a Roman governor of Judea, who was under Emperor Tiberius, and was the one who presided at the final trial of Jesus and gave the order for his crucifixion through the will of the people. He was voiced by Sir Ian Holm, who was an English actor that has been a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company since 1970, and sadly passed away on June 19, 2020 from complications of Parkinson's disease at the blessed age of 88 years. Joseph ben Caiaphas was the high priest of Israel during the years of Jesus. This man was seen organizing and coming up with claims that were supposed to nail Jesus to the cross, and was the one who presided over the Sanhedrin trial of Jesus. It was the Roman procurator called Valerius Gratus who made Caiaphas the high priest after Simon Camathus was deposed. A leader who was voiced by David Schofield, an English actor who is best known for his role as Ian Mercer in the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise. Thomas was another disciple of Jesus who was not seen much in the film, but was better known as the disciple who doubted the resurrection of Jesus. It was until he saw the marks on Jesus' hands and feet that he later believed and confessed that Jesus was truly the Son of God. He was voiced by James Frain, who is an English actor, and is fully recognized for his role in True Blood, playing the role of Franklin Mott. And finally, we have the almighty King Herod, who was the overruler and the king of the Herodian kingdom of Judea. He initially had all infants killed because he was afraid of the rumors that a king was born, who will rule the whole world. He was the king responsible for rebuilding the Second Temple in Jerusalem and all of its western walls. It was Anton Lesser who voiced him, a British actor that I personally remember playing the role of Major Partagaz in Star Wars.